Hey, Scott, man. We were working on these nicknames.
All right.
We got a couple.
Okay.
The Parquet Posse. The Three Basketeers.
WHATASERIES. It's French.
Or we can go with the Three Amigos. What you think?
The Boston Three Party.
I like that.
Coming into the 2007-2008 season, the Boston Celtics were a lot of experts picked to win the championship. It's not typical for a team that was 24-58 the previous season. They had Paul Pierce, who before he went on to be a horrible basketball analyst, he was a really, really good basketball player. Pierce was coming off his 5th straight All-Star appearance, but that was pretty much all the Celtics had. So that summer, GM Danny Ainge, who had maybe the best summer any GM has ever had, pulled off 2 of the most lopsided trades in NBA history. First, they traded Wally sipping on some scissor Serbiak, Delonte West, and the 5th pick in the draft, Jeff Green, to Seattle for Ray Allen and Big Baby Glenn Davis. Allen, sharpshooting swingman, was a 7-time All-Star with the Sonics and the Bucks. You thought that was a wild trade? They traded big man Al Jefferson, high flyer Gerald Green, and old ass Theo Ratliff, Sebastian Telfair, Ryan Gomes, and 2 first-round picks that would become infamous draft busts Johnny Flynn, Wayne Ellington, for the big ticket. Kevin Garnett, yes, KG, 10-time All-Star and 2004 NBA MVP, also a 6-time All-NBA defensive first-team selection. A lot of individual accomplishments between Pierce, Allen, and Garnett. But the only one thing they was all missing was that NBA championship. Now with 3 All-Stars on the same team, they ushered in a new era of big threes that would try to assemble to win championships. They also got good production from second-year point guard Rajon Rondo and newly added veterans James Posey and Eddie House. The Celtics rolled through the regular season, winning 66 games, securing the top seed in the playoffs. Kevin Garnett was named the Defensive Player of the Year. And the Celtics, they were proving they could win a lot of games when you got 3 of the best players in the NBA in your team. But there was a new king in the NBA, ready to start his reign.
To the NBA Finals to face the San Antonio Spurs.
The Cleveland Cavaliers were coming into the 07-08 season on a high note, following a great playoff run the prior season. The King, LeBron James, in his second playoff appearance of his career, swept the Washington Wizards, then knocked off the Nets in 6 before an epic Eastern Conference Finals matchup with the Detroit Pistons. After Detroit won the first 2, Cleveland would go on to win 4 straight, including LeBron's first iconic playoff moment in Game 5. He would go on to score 29 of the team's final 30 points in 4th quarter and overtime, and finish with 48 points in the Cavaliers' win. But the fun, it would end there for the Cavaliers, because in the finals, they got swept by the San Antonio Spurs in the franchise's first ever finals appearance. But still, huge accomplishment for LeBron and these young Cavaliers going forward. After the team struggled a bit early in the 07-08 season, GM Danny Fair decided to shake things up a little bit at the deadline, pulling off a massive 3-team deal that would see them acquire Wally Zerbiak and Delonte West. Yeah, the same guys Boston traded for Ray Allen, along with Joe Smith and 4-time Defensive Player of the Year Ben Wallace. With the new acquisitions in play and LeBron having a monster season, averaging 30 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists per game, Cavaliers look ready to take that next step. Boston was coming into Game 1 on a short turnaround after a surprising 7-game series against the 8-seed Atlanta Hawks, while the Cavs took care of the Wizards in 6. Both of these teams have championship aspirations, and the winner of this series will likely represent the Eastern Conference in the NBA Finals. But Game 1 would be close throughout. Despite a dismal shooting night by the Cavaliers, 30% from the field, 22% from deep, and in particular LeBron James, who only had 12 points on 2 of 18 shooting, while Boston was led by Kevin Garnett's 28 points, and they squeaked out a close one to win Game 1, 76-72. LeBron and the Cavs were looking to bounce back after a terrible performance in Game 1 that they only lost by 4 points. But Cleveland's offensive struggles would continue going against Boston's stifling defense. LeBron was aggressive getting to the line, but still struggled from the field. Cleveland got out to a double-digit lead early, but Boston would dominate late in the second quarter and get into the second half to put Celtics up by 17 going into the fourth quarter. Solid performances by the Big Three would see the Celtics grab an 89-73 lead to take that 2-0 series lead. With the series headed to Cleveland and the Cavs down 0-2, the pressure was on LeBron to get his team back in this series. But Boston's focus defensively in this series has been take LeBron away and make the others beat us. And that's exactly what the Celtics did. They held LeBron to another subpar shooting night, 5 of 16. But he was 3 for 5 from downtown, and the others, they were feeling it from deep as well. Wally Zerbiak knocked down a couple threes. Delonte West had 21 points on 4 made threes, and 17 points from Joe Smith off the bench would be enough as Boston's offense never got rolling, and the Cavs came away with a 108-84 victory. Huge Game 4 in Cleveland with the Cavaliers trying to tie the series, while the Celtics look to take back control of this series by going up 3-1. And Game 4 would indeed be a battle throughout, with 9 ties and 16 lead changes. For the second game in a row, the Celtics couldn't get their offense clicking. For Cleveland, LeBron was running the show offensively, getting others involved with his 13 assists. Loving hip-hop star Boobie Gibson sinks 3 of his 14 points off the bench, and LeBron puts the icing on the cake in this 88-77 win to tie the series at 2 games apiece. Series headed back to Boston tied 2-2, but the momentum is on Cleveland's side after winning the last 2. Boston will cure their offensive woes in Game 5, led by 29 points from Paul Pierce, 26 points from KG, and they got 20 and 13 from the young boy Rajon Rondo. But LeBron put on the Cavaliers on his back and led to his best offensive output of the series, putting up 35 points on 48% shooting. Cavaliers have cut the lead down to 4 late. Free throws by Paul Pierce have put this game away 96-88 and put the Celtics up 3-2. Game 6 back in Cleveland with the Cavaliers facing elimination, needing a win on their home floor. Game 6 will be a defensive battle throughout, with both teams shooting less than 40% from the field, and only Cleveland's second quarter was the only quarter a team would score more than 20 points. Kevin Garnett led the way for Boston with his 25, while the rest of the Celtics struggled shooting. LeBron will again have to put the team on his back, and he did exactly that, putting up 32 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists in Game 6. Final chance for Boston, but this turnover by Paul Pierce was seal it, and the Cavaliers win 74-69 to tie the series at 3 and force the best 2 words in sports. Game 7 from the TD Garden in Boston. The Celtics, after bringing together this big 3 and having an incredible regular season, a loss in the Eastern Conference semis would be a huge disappointment. For the Cavaliers, coming off a finals appearance the year before, losing in the East semis, this would be a disappointment as well. So this Game 7 is huge for both teams. And I know this is the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, but this pretty much boiled down to Paul Pierce versus LeBron James. Both men took it upon themselves to be dominant and win the game for their team. The Celtics, they led 50-40 at the half. LeBron James had 23 points in the first half, while Paul Pierce scored in 26 in the first half. This duel will continue into the second half, with both stars as trading buckets. After this LeBron James jam put the Cavaliers within 1 with 2:20 to play, this jumper by PJ Brown put the Celtics back up 3. Then this Delonte West 3-point attempt to tie it doesn't go, and this close jumper by LeBron James is off the mark. The Cavaliers foul. Ray Allen knocks down the free throws to take this epic Game 7, 97-92. Paul Pierce will finish this game with 41 points in the Celtics victory, despite 45 points from the King LeBron James in this epic Game 7 duel. The Boston Celtics will go on to meet the Detroit Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pistons were making their 6th consecutive Eastern Conference Finals appearance. The Celtics will win the series in 6 games, sending Detroit to their 3rd straight Conference Finals loss. The Celtics will meet up against Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers in the NBA Finals in a battle of the 2 winningest franchises in NBA history. A hard-fought series by LA, but the Celtics would take the series in 6, capturing the Celtics' first championship in 22 years. Paul Pierce was named Finals MVP, and Kevin Garnett will remind us, anything's possible! But what if the Cavaliers were able to take the Game 7 and advance to the Eastern Conference Finals? It will be a rematch of last year's conference finals that saw the Cavaliers get the best of Detroit, and I think the same thing will happen again this year with Cleveland getting to the finals for the 2nd year in a row. Basketball fans everywhere, dreams will finally come true. Kobe versus LeBron in the NBA Finals. You got a prime Kobe Bryant going against a young emerging LeBron James in the finals. Everyone wanted this matchup, especially the people at Nike. If the Cavs were to win a championship in 08, LeBron's 5th season at just 23 years old, that would be an incredible feat. How would that affect the way the Cavs continue to build around LeBron, and how does that impact LeBron's free agency in 2010? A title for the Lakers in 08 could potentially mean another three-peat for Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. The Lakers will win a title in 09 and beat the Celtics to win it in 2010. So that would mean 6 championships, tying him with his idol Michael Jordan, putting him in a very rare air. Let me know what you think about these what-ifs. Can a 23-year-old LeBron capture a title? Could he even get past the Pistons in the conference finals? What I do know is we saw a team crafted to win right away, do battle with a young superstar for the crown that culminated in the iconic Game 7 with performances that were out of this world on both sides. What a series!